Let's get an overview. Let's help get you a little bit more prepared for what to expect at CES this year. Caleb, what are the main things you expect to hear from televisions this year?
Well, 8K is going to be a big buzzword. It's already begun. Samsung put out the first 8K TV earlier this year. We're going to see several from other manufacturers at the show, and there'll be a lot of talk about that. We're making an advancement to HDMI 2.1, which on the face of it is not that sexy, but what that new connection standard means is that you get variable refresh rate, high frame rates, more data going down the pipeline, which is great for gamers, and also better audio coming out of your TV. You know, it used to be that you couldn't get Dolby Atmos to your soundbar or receiver out of your TV with simple connections. That all changes this year. And that kind of paints a picture for what it's going to be like in the future years. More and more technology. We're going to hear a lot about AI baked into televisions. This is designed to enhance what Amazon's A-word or the Google Assistant.
We won't send it off right now.
But I mean, it's designed to enhance what they can do for you so that your TV basically acts like an Amazon Echo speaker or a Google Home speaker. It allows you to control things in your home, see different cameras if you have smart cameras installed in your home.
It's not just 8K TVs though. There's a lot of other display technologies that are going to be a big focus for CES. So one, of course, is the rollable OLED screens. We saw those last year. Actual televisions that just roll up into a little coil like a drape that slides right up into your window. And those are amazing. And I think we're probably going to see, there you can see some footage of that exactly. It rolls up into a little base station, then just rolls out whenever you need it. I think that's pretty fantastic, frankly. Everyone who's got, especially if you have a larger screen television, a 60, 70 inch TV, it just sits on the wall. And unless you've got some technology to make it blend into the backdrop, or maybe you've got a picture that you just hang over that TV. Unless you're doing something like that, there's just a big blank screen on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like the old 80s mansion where, the walls part and, then the television comes out, if you're in Goodfellas, fine. But this is the next step, I think, for that.
It just looks so cool.
It does look cool.
And it can be different aspect ratios. When it's not a fixed size, you can scale it up and down as you want it and use it in different ways. I'm looking forward to seeing the different ways that LG suggests that you use a TV like that.
We've been hearing about it for years, that somebody's been working on a foldable phone, so-and-so is going to debut when so-and-so has one. And we finally did get to take a look at a couple over this last couple of months, at least somebody showcasing them. What do we know about foldable phones? Are we going to get to see these at CES? Are these going to be coming out to the market? Jeremy, what can you fill us in on with that?
Well, that's the big question. We've been following the rumors for a couple of months. There's been this will they, won't they thing. Are manufacturers actually going to show these things? And the challenge is, of course, CES, as we've been saying, the Super Bowl of technology. But in just a month or two right afterwards is Mobile World Congress, which is the Super Bowl of mobile technology. So if you're making a splash in the mobile industry, maybe you save it for March, or maybe you debut it at CES. I think it's really a marketing thing at this point. The phones absolutely do exist. If I had to make a prediction, and I do, because that's what I do, I would say absolutely, we are definitely going to see at least one, and I think two. The big buzzword, more than anything else that you hear about from CES, is going to be 5G. It's just, there's going to be an explosion of noise surrounding 5G. And we've seen this for 2 or 3 years at this point. You go to CES and there's just noise about 5G, which has been, for people like myself, incredibly frustrating. Like, we know that it is an interesting technology. We know it has all sorts of benefits, and yet there's not actually anything to see. And that was the case last year. There was just a lot of hype and no actual products. And then this year, November, December, finally, we've seen companies like AT&T and Verizon rolling out small test markets and actual products that you can actually start using 5G. So I think that what we're going to see this year, for the first time ever, not just hype, but actual timelines, actual announcements about when you're going to be able to use 5G.
Let's go on and talk about something else that's really been prevalent, over the last couple of years. This isn't just a recent thing, but I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence, how it's being utilized, and especially at CES, it seems like, a couple of years ago, everybody was just talking about the Amazon A-word being incorporated in everything. I won't set everybody's off. I'm trying not to do that. But now, we're seeing this kind of technology or this concept being incorporated in all kinds of products. I want
to sift this out. We're going to talk about, is it AI or is it BS? At CES, we're going to sift through this and determine, is this really something that is going to transform our world, or is it a small enhancement on something we've always had?
That's a great way of looking at it. AI or BS. I like that. And well, the challenge is that so much of AI is being colored by the voice assistants, right? I mean, of course, Alexa, sorry, I said the A word, is powered by AI. And of course, the Google Assistant is powered by AI. But I think that what we're going to be seeing at CES is not just a lot of speakers that can listen to you and do stuff, but AI that does a lot more. I think that AI is going to be very adaptive and proactive in the future. And so what I'm looking for from a lot of announcements at CES is, what does that mean? We talk about smarts and smart appliances, and the ongoing gag is, do I really want to preheat my oven when I'm at the office? No, I'm just going to burn my damn house down. Nobody wants that. But how can smarts be built into appliances such that they do things and react for us and help us out? And I think that's one of the things. LG has a big keynote where the CTO is going to be talking about things like that. And that's what I really look forward to seeing. What does it mean for us on a real practical level when there's AI built into something?
The auto industry is a gigantic component of the Consumer Electronics Show because of this, continuing, merging of electronics and the auto industry and cars and how everything's kind of come together. What do we expect from the auto industry this year at CES?
Well, the one thing that I'm expecting more than anything is a lot of demonstrations of the self-driving cars. Just like 5G, self-driving cars are this technology we've been talking about for ages and ages, and we're finally actually getting there. So I remember last year I took a ride in a self-driving taxi cab, which was the single most boring thing I've ever done in my life. At the same time, that it was astounding. Like it was a taxi ride. It took me around the corner, took me to a destination, dropped me off. Exactly nothing happened. But on the other hand, oh my God, it was driven by a robot and we didn't crash or anything. Fantastic. So what you're going to see is this really interesting duality. So you see that picture right there. We've got the e-Palette, a demo car from Toyota. At the same time that we're seeing these really dull and yet amazing demonstrations of self-driving cars, we're going to see these really astonishing looks at what life will be like if you own a self-driving car. Because if you think about it, you don't need your driver's license anymore. You don't need to be behind the wheel. You don't even need to pay attention. You're just a passive passenger. They call it the 25th hour, right? The 25th hour of your day is that 1 hour that you usually spend commuting that's suddenly been reclaimed for you. So what is the experience like inside of a car when all of a sudden you don't need to drive, you're just sitting there? And so that's the thing that I look forward to seeing, like the demonstrations. It's like benches and LCD screens and like built-in coffee makers. You pull a coffee over here and the newspaper comes up and you're just sitting back relaxing while the car's doing the driving for you. That's the cool part of the car experience.
Well, there's so much excitement to cover when it comes down to the Consumer Electronics Show, and that's why Digital Trends is here to bring you information about all of these different things. We've got, I don't even know how many people are going to be at CES this year covering all aspects of everything that's going on there to bring you up to date on it. And we'll also be broadcasting live. And Jeremy, I want to say thank you so much for taking some time. I know you're probably heading out of town here shortly to get down there to Las Vegas. Jeremy Kaplan, read his article at Digital Trends.